Welcome to 3 Minute Thoughts. Since I've been talking about zombies a lot lately, I figured, hey, let's talk about one of my favorite little zombie board games. It's called Zombie Cinema. It's actually a storytelling game. It's a tabletop. And it's a game that came out 13 years ago and almost no one has heard of or played. So that feels like on brand for this channel. The basic idea is everyone creates a character using these character cards. They're very simplistic, very vague, no actual skills or anything involves the characters, just ideas. The group then decides where this takes place. Normally you choose present day, whatever city you're in, but if the group decides to go medieval or outer space, whatever they want to do. Then someone is the narrator and they start narrating the story. They'll mention which characters are in the scene, which characters aren't in the scene. Well, you don't really need to mention which characters aren't in the scene. Any dialogue by those other players is handled by those other players. You don't get to control what the other players do. And at some point in the scene, there'll be a conflict. The narrator say the story goes this way, and someone goes, no, we're not going to save that person. Story's going to go this way. The action pauses at that point. All the players choose sides, and then they roll dice. The side with the highest result wins, and they move forward on the board. And the side that loses moves back on the board. If there's a tie, there's a zombie pawn that moves forward on the board. So this board is basically just a simple narration of what's happening with the zombies. The object is have enough conflicts so the players get off the board, or the zombie pawn comes to where the players are and eats them. One of the biggest rules is you cannot die at all unless the zombie pawn is on the same space as your character. So even if your character is injured, surrounded by zombies, no hope of escape, if they're still 3 spaces ahead of the zombies, you have to do narration gymnastics to keep them alive. The big fatal flaw with this game is at some point there'll be one character left, and the game then becomes a slog. It takes another 15 to 30 minutes just to resolve what happens to that character. My workaround is as soon as there's one character left, the next conflict is sudden death. If they win, then they succeed and they get off the board. If they lose, they get eaten by zombies. Keeps it simple. Except for that fatal flaw, it's a fun storytelling game that I recommend if you can find it. That's the other thing is I've only found it in PDF form now for like $20, which I don't actually recommend that considering the rules are very simplistic. There was some variants suggested by the designer. There was a heist version and a cultist version. It would have been nice if there was more variants for different types of movie tropes. There's a lot that could have happened with this system. That's my 2 cents. Thanks.